Christine, Orlando, joined when the film. We both also were in LA for some period of time. I worked on a television show on Netflix, and Christine is an actress and a screenwriter. That's why we're here.
She did my intro.
You don't want to do your own intro?
I'm just Sam. Everything she said.
Well, welcome to our meeting. Good to see you.
I am Graham.
Yeah, Graham.
I'm a director of photography and videographer and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I know who
Definitely,
you are. You tell that.
well, I know. I told you I can't barely turn the net, so I apologize.
He's getting old, everybody. He hit 30 and now he's like,
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. I went to the chiropractor today. They did not crack at all, but it's still in turn well. I put it on ice and all. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm actually part of this branch most often, but glad to be here tonight.
Alrighty. Next, I'm Luke Bernard. I go to film school at First Institute off of Caitlin Boulevard in Orlando. I would say I specialize in mostly camera operation, but I aspire to be a cinematographer, and I'm in love with filmmaking. So, yeah. Nice to meet everybody.
and Luke has been around since our first film
Yeah.
that we did, which was 2000.
18.
18, yeah, I think so.
Did
Maybe.
we just date ourselves?
Yeah.
All right. And
Chris Christensen, transplanted New York. I used to be in the independent scene, stand up, making early 2000s. Now I'm going to get back into it. I started the group DAM, Daytona Area Artists, Actors, Movie Makers.
follow it. It's awesome.
And I had just started, we started getting together, and then the COVID hit also, it's kind of set it back. But I want to get back into it. I was a screenwriter, screen script consultant. I got a little bit of a jack of all trades, shooting like Astro done. But also too, so right now I'm writing like a no budget feature. I'd like to see if I can collaborate with a female screenwriter. That's better.
Cool.
Oh, I happen to know.
It ticks a couple of the
And we
boxes.
have another one for you with that, so just throw that out there.
Oh, okay.
You came to the right place.
That was the added bonus. But,
All right, Scott.
Actually, under the
She's going to be bugging you to make lightsabers.
I know, he knows.
Mike Arman, absolute amateur, occasional part actor, general nuisance, and he's not old because he never rode dinosaurs in the snow 20 miles each way up the direction.
Close. Pretty close.
I think you're describing an episode of the Flintstones, and I am old enough to remember that.
but that's a Nick at Night, not the first run. Like where we all saw it, not the first run.
All right, Barb, you're up.
I'm Barbara Parker. I'm a that's tonight. And I'm Linda Michael, screenplay person,
Sarah, you're up next if you're there.
or larger now in my life. Hey, right. And so excited about this event.
Yay. Sarah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
yep.
Hi, I'm tuning in from St. Petersburg. I just met a couple of you maybe at the Sunscreen Film Festival. I'm a budding screenwriter just working on a few shorts right now. So I'm eager to hear more about how to fund them.
Yes, well, that will be covered as well. You know what I'm going to do? Put your email in the chat and I'm going to send you the script so you can follow along. We're going to do a little table read first, and then we're going to break it down with art and then budget it.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Okay. Let's see what's going to be easier. Let's get to art. Let's get to the man of the hour. Sorry, I'm going to give everybody motion sickness.
That looks like Janelle.
That is Janelle Goober. That's Sarah.
Oh,
All right. Okay, so you can see Art, you can see the screen.
That's why.
Sarah, does that work for you? All right.
That should be
Look,
perfect.
I can make you the host now, if that's okay,
Yep, go for it.
in case you need to project anything or do whatever.
Okay, cool.
bye,
Thank you, Janelle.
bye.
Oh, we should have introduced you. That's Janelle, everybody. She's awesome. She's awesome. All right, Sarah, I'm gonna look at your thing. Oh, oh, thank you, Janelle. Appreciate that. Sarah Bria. Okay, this is Art Smith. Art, say something. I'm busy.
I'm just a singer in a rock and roll.
No.
Down, 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 down. Okay. I could do the Flintstones song. Flintstones, meet the, okay, because I'm older than almost
Remember I
everybody.
said I want a safe word and you said I don't need a safe
Doesn't that,
word?
this is my introduction.
Mhm.
This is it.
Now, do you know the Jetsons?
Jetsons. Meet the
No.
Jetsons. Family. It's the same, it's the same thing. It's the same with just the Jetsons. I'm here tonight.
That's good.
George Jetson?
I'm here tonight to have a breakdown with you guys, to show you how
That guy.
to find money or a budget or something like that. That's there in the world of, and I have handouts. So make sure if you want, I have the handouts. And if you want electronically too, I can send it. Just email me that you want it, or I'll just email it because I know you didn't sign up, so I don't have you on the list, but I'll email you all the stuff that I have to pass out. It's for what it's worth.
Sarah, I just emailed you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I work on feature films. I'm really not in the world of short budget making, to be honest with you, but I know how to make budgets. And I also know how to find money. So that's like most people, it's not the short budget that you need to know how to do. It's more like my archaic way of showing you up here that there's a way to find money. I have found $1.5 million in Orlando to make a movie that I sold for $2 million to Pakistan, and then $2 million to Hungary, and then $500,000 towards Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, and one other place. And then Showtime bought it after all that with a new name for $8 million. Okay, and that was money that I found in a discussion like we're doing now with a rich guy. Okay, so that's where I really want to go with, show you how you do this stuff and give you ideas, but also show you how if you follow a route, it may work out for you. And if you don't follow the route, I will tell you the people that I've worked with that have not followed the route have never succeeded and have lost a lot of money. Right now, the record in Orlando for somebody who's done it all badly has been $84,000. And for a guy in Tampa, it was $2 million that he lost, not following stuff that I want to cover with you. Okay, because there's foundation is really strong. Without it, when you try to sell it to Showtime or HBO or whoever, their attorneys, they have more attorneys than I have here. So they'll say, we'll pass on it. And they don't give you a chance to go back again and correct it. They just bypass you.
I'm going to jump in really quickly. First of all, number one, these two ladies have a studio in Orlando that is incredibly affordable. It has like 20 different standing sets on it at all times. You can shoot like 20 things there. That's what they do. The studio lot, their cards up here. Number two, somebody's going to want to take notes. We do have some pads and pens and stuff up here. This also is getting recorded for Women in Film. So if you want to watch it later, we can send you a link for that. But there, yeah, please. This is it's gonna be juicy. Okay, thank you, Art.
Yeah.
You want to pass out script first?
Yeah,
Okay, let's do that.
it's a great idea.
So this is Lyndall's short film. Let's see, no, script first, don't look at anything else yet. Because nothing else will make sense if you know what you're.
Okay, just a script.
You really did just come out of where your hands are going.
I know.
Are you a surfer, dude?
Yeah.
Whoa, awesome, man, awesome. Gnarly. When I worked with Sean Penn, I had no idea he was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Really?
And he's in Thailand, right? And he flies the movie out. This is back in the 80s. So we're watching it on VHS back then, right? And I'm going, you kidding me? You did that? He got his eyes, Sean takes and changes his personality and the way he looks, his physical features. He gets phony teeth put in, hairs changed.
Yeah.
No, he created that character.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie, right?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
You tell it to Alan Smith when you see it.
So guys, please take this time to read it over. Even if you just skim it, we'll do a little bit of a table read first. Everyone can just, I'll write down the parts, but you have a character breakdown, right?
I do have one somewhere.
That'll make it easy for.
I volunteer
For
to read every period. Yeah, I just want to be the guy that says period. Yeah,
Well, unless you go there.
Kara. Kara. No, I'll read the narrative stuff. Or narrative.
I'll read the page number.
There you go. So
Oh, so you want to do stage directions?
Yeah, I'll do stage direction.
Sign in, girl. Sign in front. Direction, Graham.
Reading in a small town west of Alabama.
Stop it. Keep it reading. And you cannot do the Jurassic Park words.
At no expense.
Oh, crap. Whoops.
Not really.
Oh, no.
All right.
Wow, you did change a lot. Interesting. Hi, Jude. I'm well, thanks. Do you want a water or soda or wine or beer?
I'm definitely like wine.
Red or white?
Bad month. So
Oh, well, that's not a reason to have a glass of wine, but I will.
it is today.
Okay, would you like red or white?
White, please.
Okay, and there's scripts. Where did I put them down? Right in front of me. That's mine. This one's yours. So just read that over really quick, right? Oh, thank you. Okay. Now we know about snacks and stuff.
Don't touch it. Don't touch
Are we not touching?
I'll relate the correlate your paper.
Snack?
Is that something else?
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that's why we don't touch the later paper. Got
I get so much paper.
Shoot.
Lost.
I missed somebody on the Zoom. That's what's so hard about doing Zooms with a
I
live
know.
meeting. Didn't receive the script. I'll follow along. Okay, gotcha. That stinks.
I did get it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but now I'm trying to open it. But I can, I can. see
Oh,
it.
you know what? I sent you the final draft, not the PDF.
Do you have a PDF?
I don't. Art, do you have a PDF?
No, 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 no. Don't worry about it. I can read it.
The script. I sent her the final draft.
No, I don't.
You don't, but you
It's
can
okay.
PDF it in your, all right. Well, you
It's
can
okay.
follow along because we're doing a table read.
Okay, yeah.
Did I miss anyone else? Look and see my messages recording on. So that. Okay. go downstairs. I put my phone there.
Yep.
It's a good spot if you don't have a. Something. Up your bum. It's beautiful.
Where's the guy like me?
I can't wait till Isla's old enough where I can show her Beatles.
What age do you think is an appropriate age for people?
Well, because it's so dark. I was probably 12.
I didn't think it was that. I thought it was kind of family friendly. I
Watch it again.
mean, come on, but I grew up on Jurassic Park
Come
at
on.
the age of
Come on.
2 years old.
I'm debating letting her watch the Alien series for summer. Because she's been,
Has she ever watched Jurassic Park?
yes,
Okay.
we've done the first two, I think.
Man, you don't think Jurassic Park's darker? I mean, how many people
No,
eat
that's cool.
violently?
But here's the thing, she's 11, right? Something that has no bearing on reality, she's gonna do better with, right? Aliens in outer space, right? Who was I talking to today? They're like, oh, why don't you watch Nightmare on Elm Street? I'm like, no, because then she's gonna go to sleep thinking she's gonna be destroyed in sleep. That's too close.
Yeah,
to home.
that is kind of.
This wouldn't even be on the table, but she did a sleepover at a 13-year-old's house and she let her watch the whole Stranger Things. They sat up all night and watched Stranger Things. I'm like, all right, well, so much for protecting the innocents there. It's so good.
I don't even watch.
It's good. It's worth it. All right, I see heads are up-ish. Chris is still going. Look at your close.
I skimmed it since.
Seems fine. And your stage direction, we'll get it all anyway.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Aiden, Interior, Taylor,
Be quiet.
home.
Be quiet. Movies like that. Bonnie Piper and the Holy Grail. Duh.
It's my company logo.
I'm being impressed.
Be quiet.
You were the one that came up with Be Quiet.
For that one, yes. Yes, that was for the moment thing. Okay, who's doing Miss Taylor? Who are our actors here?
Sure.
All right. Or Mary Nell.
Whatever.
All right, we'll give you Mary Nell because she's all over the place. All right, who wants to be Miss Taylor? I guess I'll be Miss Taylor. Parks. All you have to do is read. You don't have to act. Want to be Parks? Mike?
No.
Jude?
Whatever you want.
All right, Animal Services and Ricardo. Luca, I'm volunteering you.
Alrighty.
All you have to do is read the lines. Okay, so, you ready? Madam?
Wait, who am I?
Animal Services and Ricardo's last.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Not long.
I'm sure questions to get through because it's gonna be hard to hear back.
Okay,
Come on and join us.
say what?
Circle around, circle around.
Great, all right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so this is Miss Lindell's script, Hounded. Graham, you're on.
All right, fade in, interior, Taylor home, family room, day, 1985. Decor is middle class, a 2-foot tall trophy engraved with Parks Taylor. Master Bay City is on a shelf.
Parks is determined to go live with his birth parents, and he knows how to tell the psychologist exactly what she wants to do.
Mrs. Taylor, 50, fashionable businesswoman, sits with Marinelle Taylor, 20, her daughter.
Mom, those new friends of his, have they used prior to this?
Parks said it was just fun. No one said it was, dangerous.
Parks, 10, bursts in. Marinelle turns to him with a comical smile.
There you are, little bro. Fashion statement.
Parks turns to his Mrs. Taylor.
Why wouldn't Dr. Flymite tell me my IQ score? Clearly a breach of professionalism.
You're a minor. That information is given only to your father and me.
Clearly wrong. I'm certain I'm in the top 2% of the population.
So why doesn't a smart guy do his homework?
Parks turns to Marinelle.
Sis, I already have a mother.
And I agree. that you are intellectually bored. Private school is the next best move.
No, you crucified my only friend in that so-called counseling session. I don't have any rights.
He stalks out of the room.
I don't really understand all this, and being away at college makes.
Like the adoption books say that, just like all the parents, adoptive parents will make mistakes.
Mom, you're the most loving and generous person I know, which is one of the reasons I picked church.
I do wish the church would help us more. Parks can't seem to stop this craziness. Is it hormones? I mean, surely all parents suffer the child's anger.
I'm glad you stayed in touch with his friend.
Mother. Oops. Is that birth mother? Mother? Okay. But does she need to know about all this?
Mary Nell gives her the not my skill.
You did great as a big sis, even a substitute. Remember when you covered for me at the Master and Miss Bay City contest?
That was cool, until I found out people thought I was his teen mom.
You never told me that.
Didn't I? Guess I was embarrassed. Thanks, babe.
Bam! Jumps up to give the trophy care and attention.
A pity gift.
No way. He beat his little chest for them. The applause meter was off the charts.
Let it go.
Mom, I was 13 and wearing desert boots. Don't wear. You won't even wear tennis shoes.
We've been proud of that trophy all these years, and after all, he is a handsome guy.
Yeah, he is. Please tell me you and Dad will be at my graduation.
We will be there, I promise.
It's on your calendar.
Mary, now don't go doubting me.
Stick good with me. I'm celebrating you and Daddy in my speech.
Reaches out for assurance.
Who's gonna keep him when, if he does something else stupid?
I'll come and your father will stay here. You know him in formal clothes anyway.
They laugh. Mary Nell picks up her keys and duffel bag.
Oh, don't leave. You never had enough alone time.
Guess I'll have plenty of questions for you when I have kids. Remember everything, Mom.
As if. I don't know how to pray anymore.
I am praying for you and Daddy, but I gotta run and finish a system presentation.
My mother told me under similar circumstances.
I know, love him anyway. Your brother still needs it. I will try to.
Love him, he's your brother.
Mellow gospel music from cell phone under as they hug. Mrs. Taylor clings. Mary Nell tries to lead gracefully, with hands reaching forward. Exterior trunk of classic car, day 2015. The hands and fingers of Mary Nell's angry older self. Mellow gospel music continues from her cell phone, in contrast to her fingers, which will not remove debris from the pristine's car rain channel. She's frustrated. Mary Nell, 50, shuts off the music, wipes sweat off, closes the trunk, walks around to scrutinize her work. Exterior 3, Mary
Scene
Nell's,
3.
sorry, scene 3. Exterior Mary Nell's front yard day. Establishing, it's an upper middle class neighborhood. Mary Nell's car is parked out, withered grass near her organized 2-car garage. Brownish bushes and grass reveal a major Florida drought.
I wasn't on the layoff list, and bammo, I was. Bigotry right in my face. Payday someday, bastards.
She finds a missed spot on the car and buffs it.
At least Daddy thought I was worth it. Best graduation gift ever.
She slowly pours out car wash water on withered grass.
Drink up. Lord knows I'll have more car washing time now.
Interior, Mary Nell's garage, day. She enters her orderly 2-car garage, cleans and returns car wash items. We see a small wooden vintage blue chest as she takes the last slug of energy drink and goes inside. Exterior, Mary Nell's front yard, day. Unseen by Mary Nell, an old dog appears and curls up in a cool, wet spot next to Mary Nell's car tire. The mongrel's features are wolf-like. Large hairy ears, long legs and a snout, and a very thin frame, seemingly diseased fur. Interior, Mary Nell's house, hallway, day. She is sidetracked by family photos on the wall that beckon her with the radiance from the skylight. She steps back and momentarily forgets that she's unemployed. She's drawn to the snapshot of her and her dad standing beside her new car, the classic now in her front yard. She lovingly touches the image, then moves to a snapshot of her parents at 65, clutching arms next to extravagant flower arrangement. Mrs. Taylor wears a mink stole. Next is a formal portrait of Mrs. Taylor at 65, with reddish brunette hair and a real estate blazer holding 2 awards.
Your customer skills were the best. Cute wig, mommy.
She shifts to a snapshot of Mr. Taylor at 40, holding baby Parks at 18 months. She's misty-eyed then. Moves to a newspaper photo. The Bay City Baby Contest winners with photo of Master Bay City Parks, his large trophy. Miss Bay City and her smaller trophy. Marinell pauses at snapshot of Parks at 17, stoic in his military school khakis, fresh off the train and standing by the American flag. It's more muted than other photos.
As if a uniform and a few pieces of metal could find there.
Exterior Orlando Health Amtrak train station downtown day 1992. The American flag signals locations of Parks 17 and military school khakis, pacing and impatient. His uniform includes 2 lower rank bars. 2 duffel bags are nearby. Present day, Marinell, 50, observes the reunion scene from a nearby bench. Mr. Taylor, 50, is a muscular man wearing khaki work pants and shirt. He smokes while following his wife. Mrs. Taylor, 50, a smartly dressed realtor, steers her way through the disappearing travelers. Looking for Parks, she spots him and waves. Parks is inwardly glad to see them. He ambles toward them and receives the expected hug from Mrs. Taylor. Mr. Taylor stomps out a cigarette. Will he shake hands or slap Park's shoulder? Question mark. He salutes casually. Parks salutes back correctly. Parks goes to pick up his gear. Dad starts to help, but Mom stops him.
That's a lot of luggage for a weekend.
Yeah,
Longer.
yeah,
2 of Marinell's roommates plus Marinell here for the long weekend.
surprise.
We still have a photo, Parks. Oh, a phone, Parks. Whoops. I guess I'm Mr. Taylor too. Your letter arrived just this morning. Got a bedroll in there?
Mrs. Taylor chuckles nervously. Mr. Taylor takes a disposable film camera from his wife's purse.
Let me get a shot over there by the flag. Leave your bags.
He motions Parks into position and takes a snapshot. Scene 8, interior Marinell's house hallway day, which matches the snapshot of Parks at 17 on the wall. Marinell muses on it, then focuses attention on a formal family photo. Parks at 10 and parents at 50.
Holy cow.
She scans the entire wall again, jarred by a growing feeling that her family was never photographed together. She goes to scene 9, interior Marinell's home office space day, and opens a cabinet where neatly arranged file folders include family photos. She pulls it out and flips through several prints, but doesn't find what she seeks. Then she spots church pictorial directory. She opens the cover and puzzles over a Bible verse. I am sending an angel before you to protect you on your journey and lead you safely to the place I have prepared for you. Exodus 23:20. She locates the Taylor family photo, identical to the one in her hallway, with no Marinell. She's disappointed and dashes back to the hallway to scan photos. No whole family photos. She's dazed, returns files to the drawer, and walks to interior Marinell's kitchen day. She has a spotless kitchen, and while replenishing her drink, she hears a familiar voice.
Why didn't you love me?
She's stunned, spooked, and dashes outside to exterior Marinell's front yard day. She gasps, halts, and seeing the old mongrel lying next to her car tire. A chill runs the length of her body. She steps backward, cautiously.
I'm afraid of dogs, okay?
The dog's head rests on folded frail paws, a disarming image.
I had to go to the ER when my friend's damned old dog bit me and I didn't have his rabies shots.
The mongrel's tail is limp. Marinell leans in.
Did your family dump you?
She risks a few more steps.
How'd you find me? I'm not gonna feed you.
The mongrel appears to listen, head steady but eyes more alert, seeming to fasten on her.
I understand cats. Oh no, that feral cat's been here lately.
She scans the area just in case. The dog is unmoved by these recollections, still content in the shade. Marinell backs into exterior Marinell's garage day. She paces, gets her phone, finds music app and salsa choice. Sound from phone, modern jazz and rock salsa. She flails a towel, twirls and dips awkwardly, substituting this for laps exercise. There's no response from the dog. She turns music off, but keeps the phone.
Come on, even a weary mongrel should be frightened by a gyrating divorcee.
She sees only slow moving fur on the content animal. You've come here to die, haven't you? No way, my friend. She searches for a number on the internet. Animal services, be there. Finds the number, calls
This
it.
is actually a dialogue for Mary Nell, it's just, it's not formatted properly.
Oh,
But go ahead.
finds the number, calls it, and we hear.
You're assisting others. We appreciate your patience. Your estimated wait time is 9 years.
Terrific.
She goes to interior Mary Nell's garage day. Sets phone near with speaker on and looks for a chore. She spots leaves and light debris on the floor. She unhooks a broom and begins sweeping. Works near the small wooden vintage blue chest. She opens the drawer, sees cassette tapes and an old letter from the military academy.
I don't need money this time.
She's startled, unease growing with literally every sound. She looks over her shoulder expecting something, someone, a moan. She drops the broom, follows the voice while.
Your call is important to us. We are assisting others and we appreciate your patience. Your estimated wait time is now 11 years.
Exterior Mary Nell's front yard day. The hound is on his belly, licking water off blades of grass. She finds a large lid, fills it with water, and lays it near the dog's face. He looks at her, not drinking, with penetrating eyes.
What do you want from me? I can't move the car. You can't drink from a straw. I can't find any help.
The chill of fear returns. She whirls around, pounds the air with her fists, heart palpitating.
Nobody cared, not even my birth parents.
She looks back at the hound.
Your call is important to us. We are assisting others and we appreciate your patience. Don't give up yet.
Then at the phone.
What do you want from me?
Jude,
Can't you just forgive me?
Mary Nell is spooked and vulnerable. She turns back to see the hound, pleading face in front of her.
Forgive you for ruining my graduation and stealing from us, sleeping around, trashing the only parents who actually wanted you. You killed them, you know. You killed my parents.
Mary Nell's chest is heavy. She's dizzy. She stumbles away, begins to tremble, then whirls around to confront the hound.
And you flipping a finger at the world.
Your call is important to us. We are assisting others and we appreciate your patience. You already know the drill. Stop asking.
Shut up, shut the hell up.
She jumps to the phone and hurls it against the wall. Then suddenly she is pierced with guilt.
Our parents.
The hound's stare is relentless.
They were our parents. I tried to share them, but I didn't.
She crumbles. The ground soaks up her tears.
I'm sorry, Parks. I'm tired. So very tired of being angry.
Exterior Mary Nell's front yard day. Later, a light rain falls as Mary Nell raises up slowly to early evening, tuned unseasonably cool.
Forgive me, God. We are all your adopted children.
Distant thunder. She lifts her face in inviting relief. A scent of freshness drifts in. She smiles, scans her surroundings. Ricardo, 10, a neighbor, stands in the driveway with a puzzled face in his well-used bicycle with a flat tire. Mary Nell smiles and brushes herself off. She checks the spot where the hound has been lying. He's gone.
Thank you.
Luca.
You say something?
No, Luca, you said you didn't want a part. It's Luca. You already stole his animal services.
You say something?
Yes, to someone else.
She walks towards interior Mary Nell's garage day, 1985, and finds a towel, her tools, and air pump. She motions Ricardo into the garage. It's
It's okay. You see an old dog around here earlier?
Nope, just a stray cat.
Let's get this bike working good as new.
Mary Nell hands Ricardo a tire lever, then starts removing the tire. Suggested music, modern gospel by women singer-songwriter. Fade out.
Yay.
Ooh.
Quick question. We're not picking apart the script on this. We're doing a budget, but scene 16, you have 1985. That's not right.
No, it's not.
No.
But we know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and I swapped several. of
So
them.
let, are
Understood.
we done this part? I will tell
Everybody
you,
knows the script. Art, it's
I
your
will,
play.
I will tell you now, I'm not the director. Okay, I'm a producer / line producer, production manager person, but I sit in on all the table reads. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to the table read as it's going on, as if people audition for these parts. And I'm sitting here going, some of these people could play these parts, just to let you know that. Okay, which is a good thing to always be involved in the table read if you get a shot at doing it, because you never know. Because after you guys leave, we sit back and talk, and I go, she could play that part. And you know what? We can save money because you can play the young girl's part and then she turns 50. So all we have to do is make up to be 50. Instead of trying to get two people to play that part. Follow? Okay, so anyway, that's a footnote that I'm throwing in about while you're through the table read, people from outside get to add this stuff and we meet later on. So anyway, now we're done. We know there's mistakes within the script. I get the corrections back and I get the script, okay, and I make the corrections. And for those of you who are writer people here, I use Final Draft, and this is Final Draft, and there's the script right here. But what's critical about what I do is I now check what I have up here. I do the script prep, I correct the elements. So I'm looking at a function that this has here, which allows me to see all the elements that are on the top. And I can check and see if there's mistakes within the characters or the locations. When I opened this up the other day, there were tons of mistakes that were in here. The writers can make those mistakes and not know that they make them. So somebody needs to correct that before we go any further with ever trying to figure out a budget, to be honest with you. That's one of those ground rule things that you really need to do. And then also we'll do all the other things I need. Plus, once I do that, I can tag the script. Is everybody familiar with tagging? Okay, so I have to go into that a little bit. Well, tagging is here. So tagging on Final Draft now, you don't have to have a separate program. You go up into your heading.
What would be the purpose of tagging? Just
Tagging allows me to understand all the props, everything that I need, so I can create a props list. So while I'm looking at it, it also organizes this in my head as what I have to fund. See, when I get this, I have to do the feasibility to see if this can be done. That's what my mission is. I don't care about the arts. I don't care about the storyline. I don't care if the subject sucks. That is not my job. My job is to see, can we make this work? Yes, sir.
So just a question. You might do this multiple times, so I might be jumping ahead, but I'm talking about the people, places, things in the script that you're budgeting for. It wouldn't make sense at this point to really get into like what a DP would need, right?
No, not yet. This is only to get the money that the DP needs. Okay.
So what is, would you mind just
Sure.
explaining tagging process?
Okay, here it's right here. I'm going to show you. I just pulled it up. Okay,
Do you want me to go while you're talking, get that TV so they can see what's on your laptop?
we can try it.
Yeah, that would be.
We can plug it in. No, okay. Because I'm not into doing this.
No, keep doing it.
Anyway, here, you see the different colors that are there?
Yeah.
This script has been tagged. So tagging, when I click on something, it will ask me all the list, like the dog is an animal. Okay, so I tag it, it knows throughout the entire script that that dog is an animal. It also tells me that if I have an animal, I'm going to tag animal trainer. Okay, so why is that important? Because when I'm doing the budget later on, I got to fund an animal trainer. Okay, and I know what day now the animal trainer is going to be there, because every day that the animal's there shows up. So the animal trainer now is hidden behind her, but it is tagged. Okay, and tagging.
So if there's an animal on the page,
Mhm.
on that specific page, you're tagging.
Right, and
Correct.
once I tag it one time,
Yeah,
it will find it for me throughout the entire script.
great,
Okay, so I've got all that. That's all done.
thank you.
So that tagging part is the next thing that I do. So that gives me what I need so that I can take all this information and I can put it into then my scheduling program,
What else would you tag?
everything, everything.
Every.
And a line
prop.
wait, well, here, a line that you said before was, he puts out the cigarette. I know then that we need to have somebody that has cigarettes. So that's important to make sure that I have that. That's added to that. Okay,
So just out of curiosity, because of the nature of the fact that they're putting out a cigarette, would you tag a specific department or person as well, knowing that anytime that cigarette comes up, you're gonna need someone like a script supervisor to note continuity?
yes, because that all comes out in all my reports later on.
So you tag all the characters, all the props, all.
Yep,
the-
everything,
all the-
everything that,
You tag action.
no, I don't tag action.
Okay.
I know this goes somewhere. I think it's right there. Okay, there we go. All right. Cool. Oh. Uh-oh.
No, my God, please, everybody sit down.
You tag
Please,
vehicles.
appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, you're gonna see in a second, where not only did I tag the vehicle, but for tonight's presentation, using the scheduling program, I found a vehicle. And the picture is on my schedule.
Okay.
And we found out, I said to her, this is another footnote here. When I work with writers and she had down train station, okay, just a train station. I said, listen, now is your shot at being really neat where you think you want to shoot this. So find a local train station or something that you like. Or if you have down a hair salon and you have a friend, okay, put the person's name in. So now they're part of the movie. You can say, I named the salon after you.
So but just out of curiosity, you're saying that the writer should pick that out as far as reference for a script, but would that not be something that a location scout and a director might change?
No, because he can change it. But right now she's got the input to put it
She
in.
needs something to start.
Yeah. See, I'm on that level now. I'm not downstream. I'm
You're
up.
pre-production.
Right. Okay.
Right.
And so why that works out well is because she might know somebody that now has a hair salon that later on we're negotiating. Remember, we're doing low budget. Okay. I put your name of your facility is in my script. Oh, you know what? I think that's a wonderful idea. You know, if you need it, you could use it. Okay. So that means that's one location less that you really have to go out and scrounge. Okay. Which you might get for free. So that reduces that budget. Okay. It pays off big time. And it's your chance to do that. There's actually, when I worked on the movie, while we're waiting for this, the movie Casualties of War.
Boom, shakalaka.
You got it up there? Okay, cool. All right. So this, I take all this information, okay, that I've changed the script now in its tag. I import it into it. I'm using Movie Magic scheduling. There's budgeting scheduling. I've got like 4 different programs, but this one's fine. Okay. So I bring this in and I go, all right, let me take a look at what we have. And so I sit back and I take a look at, and you see the colors that are up there. So all my exterior days are in this color here, right? To make my life easier. All right. And then I can actually sort. So the software will sort for me the number of days that I'm using exterior and the locations. So it kind of breaks it down. And then these numbers that you see up here, the little tiny numbers, okay? These are your cast numbers. What I've done is I've taken the cast and I've assigned it a number. Each cast member now has a number. So I know what days they're actually in. Okay?
Where'd you get the schedule, Art?
Where I made it.
No,
No, I did. This is a new one.
no way. That's my template.
No way, this is mine.
That's my template.
Wrong. I am telling you, the
I
whole
wrote
script is,
down her script
the whole,
years ago.
I don't care. This script right here, I did.
Well,
I
you
just
did it so good.
did
with
it
the
that I copied.
computer.
That's what I made sure it was like perfect. But anyway,
What you did.
when you do that, okay, you also have on your scheduling, I don't want to spend a lot of time on scheduling, but you also have the sheets. And that's a full breakdown. And if I can remember, let me go back to the board. Where's my train station?
One thing that's fun about.
Oh, here's classic car. Oh, no, it's not. Little fat, you gotta forgive me.
Business is you will say stuff that anywhere else you will sound like a raving lunatic.
Little fat fingers.
Little, where's my train station? Where's my train station? Anyone else?
There you go.
walks up. Okay.
So there's your classic car.
Right.
Okay,
Now, on the lower left-hand side, that list, is that your tag?
that's your tags.
Okay,
Okay,
so those are all of those are tagged.
yeah, that's all the things that are tagged for that one scene.
Okay.
Okay, that's there.
These things?
Yeah.
I call them elements.
Yeah, there are elements, but right now
So
they're tagged.
in final draft, they're called elements.
But do me a favor, Art, click on cast members so that they can see.
Sure, okay.
So as you start breaking down a script, which is what I do. Just for me. You put them in as you go. And then as you get further in the script, and then you do have to break them apart as between 50, 20, Parks 10, Parks 17, Parks 45. So you break all that stuff down and hit props. Let's see what you have for props. Because the first thing I gave her when she asked for help was this, basically, a breakdown, and I sent her the day out of days. We won't get into scheduling. Maybe that'll be August.
Right.
I got a question.
But then you can see how many days you need the classic car.
Right.
You see how many days you need these certain things, and things that cost money that you don't have in your back pocket. the car.
And that all
locations.
goes into the budget. See, so
Okay. as
I,
you were-
right,
as you
I need to know all that information. Okay, yes, sir.
Short film or feature?
I do it for, I would do it,
One you're showing right now.
this is this film.
This is the one you just read.
You just read that.
So it's a short, yes.
It's like a 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or it could be a 10-minute or whatever. I actually, I do this for 30-second commercials.
I'm with
Yeah.
So
But this
Here's
is
a-
what we're
here's a
saying
question.
is
Sure.
that we just read. the
I know that you
entire-
have a variety of actors that fall under different
That was
age
the
range. Somebody
entire-
that's
that was the
17 is not gonna
entire-
pay
12 pages,
parks at 45.
Right.
But the parks at like, I don't know, what did it say? It was like park 17, parks 20,
20,
parks,
right.
whatever.
Mhm.
That parks could probably play the same
It
thing.
can, but that's not my decision.
Okay,
Okay,
We're not
remember,
there.
my decision, I don't make decisions. All I am, I'm a scout, I'm recon. I go out and I come back and go, hey, the enemy's over here, they're over there, they're over there, and the commander makes those decisions.
but you might advise.
Oh, yeah.
If it comes
Oh,
down to a budget of, it would be cheaper to get makeup versus. casting
Absolutely,
in person.
absolutely. And we do that when we have our production meetings again. And the first AD is usually involved in that. See, because what we're doing is we're kind of jumping around. This is what I do first before we hire ADs and stuff. I get all this stuff ready. When you get a script ready, it's easier to sell, if that makes sense. Because you don't have to do all this work later on when you're paid. If you're paid and you can put all this stuff together, you can show the investors, I got this work done, this work done, this work done, this work done. We got stuff. Plus, we have a pretty good budget. We don't have it like an arbitrary budget. We have a pretty good budget that we can tweak later on, knowing where we need to stand. Judy?
Is there crew? Is crew
No.
part of this? Or
Yes.
Not,
Mine, yes.
it is, but not really.
Well,
Not-
because to me, excuse me, but to me, the presence of crew is a huge budget.
That's coming. He's gonna
Yeah.
get to that. Well,
Okay.
get off of props for a second.
Okay, sure.
And then for specialty, I put them under additional labor. That's if I have an animal wrangler,
Right.
a fire safety officer, could be an
Okay.
open flame. Do
See,
you have anything?
no, I don't have any Marengo yet, because I didn't finish doing that, because I was trying to get this done last night.
Well, there's not a dog in that scene.
No, there isn't. But you know what? If I clicked on Angle Wrangler, it would come up. Just like when I go back to cast members. Wait, animals, watch. There you go.
But to some degree, you said this will do it automatically for you.
It does it, it transfers the information, so I don't have to retype it.
But the part where it
Okay.
says down below.
Yep.
there's
That's what
seven-
makes-
But you would have to go scene by
I'm
scene and
calling it
manually
now. I'm
put all
gonna
this
do
stuff.
a scheduling
it-
for August,
it-
okay?
it
Everyone
does,
relax. Get on with the
but
budget.
it does,
Okay.
okay, all right. So anyway, now we got the scheduling part done, right? So we're all happy with the scheduling. So then the next thing that we have to do after we get the scheduling down is to stop and then have another meeting, okay? And here's where, what I do, okay, is I try to find, we've got this, we've got the writer. We've got this broken down, okay? I'm not doing the budget yet. Okay, I'm not working on this budget yet. Okay, what I'm trying to do is to find investors with the concept and the idea first, so they can pay to get the budget done. Okay, so what I tend to do is do what I call the development budget. And I handed out one of those flyers, talks about a development budget, feasibility plan.
It's a
Now,
rough draft.
here is the rules of funding, okay, that I have to follow. You guys don't have to follow it, but I do, okay? In order to get investors on intellectual property, they have to qualify. There's a whole big law that's established that talks about section 192 about funding intellectual property. And I have to tell everybody that gives somebody money that you're gonna lose your money. And that's a hard thing to do. Tell people, hey, you wanna give me money so you can lose it? Now, you probably won't lose it if you do it right, okay? But you gotta get those people to understand it. And that's a whole class by itself about how section 192 was set up and written for the Hollywood people. Section 192 works for you, okay? So what we wanna do is we wanna find somebody that would be interested in creating a feasibility study, and this is where I lose people, feasibility study and development budget. So I'm not breaking the law. So I find people, now, in this case, we're dealing with a dog, right? Okay, so people like dogs, right? So now we got this dog idea, and we got this family thing. It's a dog, hey, you wanna work with the people from Jersey, this is what you get. So you gotta look at that as a target audience. So now I'm looking at a target audience, and I gotta create my business plan to work around it, right? And so I'm gonna do like an octopus and have many tentacles moving at one time. But if I can find somebody with money that will say to me, Art, tell me what you need for development. for this. So I created a development budget that's smaller. If I do a feature film, like 1.5 million plus, I look for 100,000. It's easy. Now, with 100,000, I can do a lot. I can hire you to be my DP or my director. I can hire you to be my actress. I can go to SAG and do a signatory agreement, right? So I can do it at SAG low budget and get a signatory agreement. I can hire my attorney. I can get my E&O insurance working on the script. So now I know that all the rights are cleared, because when later on, if this wants to go somewhere and I want to sell it to Showtime, they're going to ask me for that copy. And without that copy, they're not going to buy it. So that's $300 and something that doesn't come out of her pocket. It comes out of this 100,000. So I say to the investor, how would you like to get involved with this? And I'll give you 20% back on your investment once the project's funded. So in my actual budget for this, okay, I put in development, and let's say I'm looking for 10,000, okay, right? So I put 12,000 down. The day that it gets funded, I write a check and I give it back to that investor and go, thank you so much. He's not part of the movie. I didn't violate section 192, okay, because he's not part of my movie. Usually what's happened now is the people that are giving me the 100,000, right, and I would just give them 10%. I write the check, they would ask me if they could be involved in the movie again. I go, you can't, because the movie's already funded by somebody else. They own it. But I'll tell you what, post-production and the area of P&A, you can, because it's not the movie.
How long is the process of getting an investor for the 10,000 you say, up, returning 1,200?
I can't tell you, that's an open-end thing. That's where you go back to people. But if you do everything right, you should be able to find your money to make it your actual budget. Let's say this budget's $20,000, right? So I got half the money already. So I just need 10 more, okay? But the person that does that will actually own it, be the owner of it, have the ownership of it, and get any return that comes back of how you're going to market it. And that's what's difficult with short films, because you don't really find a market for short films, okay? People put them in film festivals and do that, and then say, hey, listen. So what I try to tell people, and I haven't said this to her yet, is this is where I would go with this. You got your short, people like it, think it's going to work. Yes, sir.
So if you're the script writer or the creator, you actually sign everything over to the investor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually what happens, unless they're going to, this is another octopus, unless, and it's written out in one of those handouts I gave you, unless you decide that you want to own it and you want to produce it and you want to do all that stuff with it. And you can do that, okay? I try to tell writers, listen, what is it you want to be when you grow up? Do you want to be a writer? Then write. Here's why. One good thing is you sell this script to somebody, even though it's a short, you're on that road to becoming a WGA member. Now, why is that important? Because if you're not a WGA member, I can offer her $300 for that storyline, that script. But you're a WGA member for feature. The minimum I can, when I do the budget, the minimum that I can ask is $93,000. So see the difference when you're a WGA member?
How do I join WGA?
But okay, that's the catch-22. That's a catch-22 in the industry. It's like trying to be a medical student. They don't want you to be in the WGA, but they want your money to be in the WGA. And they know that if you make money, that you're good for the WGA, you're good for SAG, and you're good for the DGA and the PGA. And that's not the golf guys, okay? So if you can get something sold where they think you can make money, then you're a prospector that's found gold, okay? And they don't mind if you join their club. Does that make sense?
Sure. Full performance.
Yeah. And so what I do, this is what, like, if I'm working on it, I'm gonna jump back to the feature again, okay? If I do the feature and I get money, and she's not a WGA member or she's not a SAG member, but I want her, the director wants her to be in that movie, and it could be SAG legit, and the director says, you have a lot of potential, we'll pay for your SAG initiation entry fee. And that happens, like, and I have to do it like this, like a New Jersey thing, okay? I don't know if you know how it's done in New Jersey. Never once did you ever, I have a deal that you can't refuse. And the same thing holds true with the Writers Guild. They tell you you can't get in, okay? But if you have a godfather, all right, you can get in. And that's what you want to be able to be eligible for that, even though you may not want to join it. But if somebody pays your initiation fee, then I would go, join it. And I usually go back when I'm working on a film, I'll find the money to get her into the WGA. I'll find that money. Because I'll save it somewhere else. And if I can save that money somewhere else, and I go to the boss, and I go, listen, I think this would be good. I found the money. Okay, so it's not coming out of something else because he knows I'm gonna find more money for him down the road. Okay?
Question.
Yeah.
Just dialing it back to development money.
Right.
Okay, said, if I get an investor for the development phase.
Yep.
But not for the actual film itself.
Right.
Production. They don't own any part of it.
They're not anything. They're not,
So.
you don't give them
so-
screen credit. You don't tell them they get anything. Okay?
So what I do is I say I go to you and you're the funder and I say, gee, blah, 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 and you're interested in it. You said to me that if I need to pay 10, I need to get 12 from you. I assume that what I'm saying is that I pay back my person 12,000, but that's the 20%, right? So they
Yeah.
get their 20%
Yeah.
return on investment.
Right.
And then they walk away.
That's
And
correct.
I don't owe them anything.
You don't have
Now,
anything, and you know what you got? If you did that and you do it in a pretty good time period, you got a friend. You got
in
somebody.
the state of Georgia where I started in WIFT-FL, okay, we had a 30% immediate return.
But
But I'm just saying.
I know,
that
that's state-
something else.
I know
you
that's
could
state stuff and
use.
it's not here for Florida, so that's why I bypassed that.
So isn't there
Okay.
anything in Florida?
No, there isn't. There isn't. There isn't anything in Florida. No, I'll cover what there is in Florida, but that whole state incentive thing is not there. And and a lot of times, that's tax credit. I know, but that's not cash. That's tax credit.
Yeah.
This is investors finding investors for your projects. Okay, now.
But we were able to attract investors because they knew they were immediately gonna get 30% back on whatever they.
Yeah. But this case, she's got a dog movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's easier for her to find that 10,000 if we talk to, I don't know, Wolfgang, is there like Wolfgang Pups? Wolfgang Pups people. Okay, and you talk to them and you say, listen, we got this idea. And they might go, you know what? This is a win-win situation. What do I get for that? Well, now we go back and in what we've done here, we write in, so somewhere she goes to her car and she goes to the store to buy the dog a treat. Somehow we product place in there. And that's another avenue to save money.
Does that $12,000 cover any filming or anything for people to see, or is that?
No, that's to create your feasibility study to get the money to make it happen.
Just prime the well.
Right. See, nobody does that. That's what people do is say, I've got a script, I need all this money, and that's it. And I'll say, you know what the hardest thing in Florida is? That the people that are making, and I hate to say it like this, but the people that are trying to make the movies don't have the credibility to show that they can accomplish the task. They have a desire and a need.
Storyboards or anything like
Yeah,
that?
it could. Yes, absolutely.
They want to get the movie made.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they're
But
money-
nothing to be done.
No, you don't want to film anything.
Right.
Right, because you don't have
an investor.
you don't have your money.
Right.
Right. See, that's the mistake. Here's I said before, the area where I've met people here, talking to them, the independent filmmaker, they've spent 20,000, 50,000, 80,000. That guy in Tampa was a Super Bowl ring winner who made a movie with local people with $2 million of money that he never had clearance to start with. Never followed any of this stuff and came to me and said, I need help. I go, I can't help you. You got to go, insurance, good luck. And you broke all these copyright laws. You can't go just take pictures like this. The background there's all these rules. Okay. And he was like, I wish somebody told me. And I was like, okay.
Well, you don't know if you don't know.
If you don't know what you don't know, and you're listening to people that are telling you, I got a camera.
Yeah.
I got a phone. Let's do a trailer. Then that jumps down if I wanted to right now to P&A and marketing. And one of the handouts I wrote that whole thing out for you that discusses trailers. Wait, as you're shooting, as you're actually shooting, that's your trailer. Trailer means to follow behind, not to shoot beforehand. Okay. Well, people will see it. We got a sizzle reel. They'll see it and they'll buy it. Okay, good luck with that. It may work. I don't know of anybody that made it work yet. I hear that story, but I also.
Actually, I can step in there.
Yeah.
There was a little film I worked on called Saw. Maybe you've heard of it. They shot the one scene. It was the jaw trap scene in Australia before they came to LA. And that's what they shopped around, and Lionsgate snapped it up on that with James as the director, who's now like huge.
Right.
We filmed that off of his trailer. That's how we got the money.
See,
But that's 1 in a million.
that's what, yes, but also you don't know the,
And very, very.
right, but you don't know the
rare.
background, you don't know the background stuff of who those players are and how what advantage they have over you. If you don't have that entry start level, it's more difficult. So I go, you can do it. It's just going down a dead end, maybe. It may work. But follow this and try to find those local people.
Figure out the line of like how much you need to do to get the best.
Well, do that. No, what you do is you do, that's what we do. We create the development budget. Right. So what I do is I sit down and I create a development budget. Now, the development budget, I can't show you because I don't have a completed budget, so I don't know how much we need. I did do one thing, and if you guys want a copy of it, I'll send it to you, but somewhere in my piles of happy stuff here. Piles of happy stuff. I have their budget, which I didn't make a copy of to give out.
I know.
But it's the Excel spreadsheet model, okay? I don't use Excel spreadsheets to do budgets, okay? I use budget software, okay? So, I mean, everything imports for me and stuff. But the budget, if you want to create a budget, I've made an Excel spreadsheet that I'll give you a copy of that's a master.
So just out of curiosity, for this particular film, you already have a temporary budget?
Right here.
Budgeting or movie magic budgeting.
That's it right here. Is it okay for him to look at your budget?
Yes.
Okay.
If you
And
want
you're
to
gonna
pay
see-
$1 each, right, $1, you can look at it? Oh, my goodness.
No, and I don't have crew prices down. I just have the cast down because it's a SAG project. SAG low rate is $211 a day for this project based on what I think the budget's gonna be.
Micro budget.
Yeah.
Where do you find those numbers?
You can look it up. You can, anytime you want, to be honest with you, anytime you need any information, and if you're a member of WIFT, okay, email me or call me on the phone, and I'll be more than happy to say, here it is, here's this, here's that, I'll help you with this, I'll help you do that, I'll help you. WIFT members, I break down the script for free. Boom. If you're a WIFT member, I do all that stuff that you saw at the beginning of all the elements and stuff, I correct everything for you for free.
And
So
just
just
for the
out of
record,
curiosity,
that's how I make my money, and for a
you
feature
do
film,
mention some
Grant,
crew.
let me run
Yeah.
over you for a second. How I make my living here, because I'm not making feature films anymore, because I'm a DGA member of union, I can't work non-union, and all we have is non-union, long story. I break down scripts for a living now. So my feature film script, you hand me a feature film properly formatted, is $3,500. Because it takes me to properly do it, different eyes than his eyes. But when you want to get that budget made, you take my schedule, I schedule it for you so you know how many days you can shoot it in which, blah, 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 blah. $3,500 for a feature. I could have charged her $1,000 to break down a short. He'll do it for free. And if you're really nice and I like you, I might do it for free.
No, I have that's a special deal with women in film people that I will walk you through or whatever.
Just so you know the value of what this means.
Yeah.
So you have some various crew positions, but not director, producer, or screenwriter. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, there's a reason for that because I need to get more of the information for the hardware stuff I need to do first. So I get here's a catch-22 situation again. It's sort of like scheduling. Okay, let me give you an example, maybe by going to the board for a second. Okay, when you get a script and you download it or you put it like this, it's all in alphabetical order according to height. Okay, so it's scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. Okay, now, unless you're directing a high school play where you start out with the first page and you go all the way to the end, okay, we don't shoot like that, ever. So we look and we take a look at all the things that match and fit, like all the front yard stuff. So all the front yard stuff with the number of pages that are there and the time it takes to do that, I can look at it and I can go, you know what? I can shoot all that in one day safely. And if I need to jump over, because right here, this is exterior, right? I can then try making sure I get this one done, right? But if it can't, I'll move it over and then I'm still with the garage. See it? Okay. That's how I create a budget. It's the same way. I have to sit and massage it. I have to lay it out and look at it and go, you know what, this works here and there. Every movie that I've ever done a budget for and helped with a schedule, rule one that I've learned from the guys in Hollywood, always do your big scene first. Always do your big scene first. The reason why, because you're going to run out of money. So you want to knock that off the first thing. Get that done. Get that out of the way. Okay.
That's how Bohemian Rhapsody did it.
Yeah, right. That, I mean,
So
that's,
it's like
I mean, that was,
money shot.
I learned that when I was
Money
23.
shot.
Okay. Always do the big things first. And here, you don't have, you're going to have the people basically for, except for those like one
But
day.
he's a money guy, I'm
done,
a schedule guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And here, okay,
That's the difference.
the big thing is at the end, which is the Taylor home family room. Now, I could jump that and move it, but then, and move all this up here. We could massage it, work at it and say, let's move all these up here and then reverse it and bring it back down again. Let's look at the weather of what it's going to be like. When are we going to shoot this? That's another thing, because we don't know when we're going to shoot it because we don't have the funds for it. So it's another catch-22. Hollywood has the funds. When they do this, it's relatively easy because they say, here's the money, go make it work. Okay. Here, you don't have the money, so you have to figure out how to make it work. So if I had a phone call tomorrow, I could flip-flop this around, schedule around easy. Okay. So that's how you figure out where you stand the budget-wise. Okay. So let's go back to, I want to go back to a funding thing right here. This is it, section 181. Nobody knows, anybody know about section 181 here? Okay. Section 181 is probably the best thing to help you find money.
Do me a favor, just remember that this camera is on
Oh,
and you're cute and all, but we'd love to see the board when you can.
Okay.
I know it's tough. I know it's tough. Thank you.
section 181. Okay, Hollywood guys wrote along with section 192. Okay, so how did Art find a guy in Orlando? Guy sells a used car dealership. And he's got to pay the federal government back $2 million in taxes. Under section 181, doing that development phase, starting development phase, if he gave me $1.5 million and put it in the LLC, which you create under the name of the company, I mean, of the movie,
The film.
right? Okay. He doesn't have to pay that $1.5 million back to the government. Ever.
Wait, say that again.
Okay.
Because I think I didn't hear it right.
Okay. The guy has a business, sells the business. He owes 1.5 or $2 million in taxes.
Right.
So the federal government wants the $2 million taxes. Under section 181 to apply for it, if you create the film and we put the money in an LLC on the name of the film, and we just start doing our development phase, we don't have to shoot one frame. We don't have to hire a director yet. He's exempt from paying that $2 million to the federal government. Forever.
He put it into the.
The
film,
section
and the
181
probably
film.
gonna slip.
Right. Ever does he have to pay that money back?
Hey, guys, my wife's a lawyer and does LLCs.
Okay.
Technically a write-off.
Yes. And see, we're back again to the Hollywood. Think about this for a second. The Hollywood guys,
Yeah.
even though they're independent filmmakers like Robert Redford, all that, they still work in Hollywood. They're still Hollywood people. And so they come up with these great opportunities that the little guy doesn't know about. But section 182 is good for a little guy. So if you can find somebody who owes money in taxes, okay, it's not a loss for them. And you can write that off, okay, for 3 years.
Wow.
So for the next 3 years, if you don't make that movie, if you have not moved any further than just creating it and saying, hey, listen, we're working on the script, everything is going fine, you can let it sit there for 3 years.
So the only way, let me just make sure I understand this completely. The only way that investor would ever owe money to the state, I don't know if it's the state or federal.
Federal, it's federal, not state.
So he takes that $2 million, he invested in the movie isn't yet made, but God willing, and the creek don't rise, we make the movie. And miraculously, we make money on it.
Yeah.
Okay, at that point, does he have to pay taxes?
He does, like he would do it if he didn't owe taxes in the first
Okay.
place, but he doesn't have to pay back that 2 million.
Okay.
Yes.
I got a guy who sold a bunch of property and needs to do a 1031 exchange. Can he use that money in section 182?
I probably could, if you had the script, the game plan and stuff.
Really? I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna owe about $200,000.
Yeah, like, and he can hold out.
Not to pay.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll send you the actual, for your wife. I have the actual law document, the whole thing.
I'm gonna be seeing him tomorrow.
Okay. When I get back, I'll send it to you. But it's a pretty neat thing, isn't it?
There.
Okay, and nobody knows it exists. At the Sarasota Film Festival, a lawyer was there, and there was like 400 people sitting in Sarasota, the same Sunscreen Film Festival. There must have been 300 people in the auditorium. Not one person except for myself knew what section 181 was.
Well, he's paying, he's just not paying it to the government. Right, I mean,
Well, he owes it.
the government, but I'm still saying is,
Right, but he owes it, but instead of giving it to the government.
yeah, no, I'm
Right.
saying, but he's still, money's still
Abs-
going somewhere.
Absolutely, and he can write it off for the,
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's a great idea,
Yeah.
but in other words, it's
Yeah.
that money, instead
Right.
of going to the government,
Yeah.
goes there,
it's
right?
going there, yeah, right,
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
Unless ultimately you do.
But
make money on it.
he's being taxed on a
That's a-
positive gains, something.
Right, that's a different,
Yeah,
that,
that's a,
Later, which is.
no, but that's gone.
that's a different
He's
world.
being
That's
taxed
all,
on new money.
that's a different thing.
He's being taxed on new money.
Yeah. It's like buying another business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Do you have
taxed on
to
new
show
money.
that
That has
people are being employed and all that type of?
Nope.
No?
You don't have to show any of that. Because you're not getting any of that money back, the COVID stuff, any of that. You're not asking for any of that back. All you're doing is following section 181, create the LLC. That's another thing that's important. Okay? When you create an LLC, and let's talk about that in budgeting again and using your head. Okay. Do not
Budget for my.
create the LLC and a production company name. Do not put the movie in the production company name. Okay? Because then the production company owns the movie. You can't write stuff off. If you create your own LLC for the name of the movie, to be determined, you can have it TVA is the name of the title, right? Put it in there. Then all the work that your company does, you can charge that LLC. You do it the other way, you can't write anything.
But you also have to put in the budget, if you're shooting in Florida, which is what we're obviously doing, Sunbiz is, what do I pay, 400 a year for haberdashery?
375.
400-ish, so
Yeah.
you always bump up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Was that, no, it's 160 to a created LLC?
375 for your annual.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking?
No,
Like,
that's your annual thing. No, I'm talking about just the creative.
Oh, creative.
It's like 175 now. Because I know it was 135 and then it goes up and
Yeah.
65.
was that about creative? Sorry.
There's 375 for an annual, if you continue the LLC, you have to do an annual report, it's 375, but to create the LLC, it's 175. on
Oh,
some-
so what you mean by creative is creating.
Yeah.
Yeah, on sunbiz.org, you do it in
Yeah.
like, right now, we could create one right here, just sitting here. One thing that Florida people tend not to do and forget is when you create the LLC in Florida, you're not registered with the true IRS. You do not have a real EIN number.
Oh.
And then a little fine print, Florida says, this is only part one. Make sure you continue to part two, okay? Otherwise, you're conducting business illegally in Florida.
Well,
Okay.
If you don't have any employees, you don't need an EIN. Because I've got.
That's true, because that's your social security number, right? But usually, if you're going to create the
But that also
LLC,
falls under sole proprietorship, not LLC, right?
No,
no. Mm-mm.
no, you do not want a full price.
No, you don't want, see, not for this. And the other advantage to doing this, when you create the LLC with the name of the movie, when it's time to sell it, it's real easy. Because you sell that. That entity goes away from you. It goes that whole, when she sells her script or wherever it goes to, that whole thing just goes. You're out of that world. You're out of paying taxes. You're out of anything of that world, which is nice. Yes.
I have another question. I'm thinking about that dreadful Alec Baldwin scenario where they created a sort of a sub. However they did it for insurance and liability. And when I was in Georgia, a bunch of indie people did a film that I know Lexa knows about. You also as well, Bart, because you had the girl come about the safety. She was the girl.
Oh, Joyce?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay,
You're
so
talking about
she
Sarah
was
Jo?
on
Sarah
that
Jones
film.
accident.
For those who don't know, there was a film in
Midnight
Georgia
Ride.
that they filmed without getting the proper permits and liability, etc., on a railroad track.
Right.
And basically two people got killed. And one of the ladies who was injured actually founded a state or iSafe, whatever it's called, or organization for crew people. So anyway, the point is that recently Alec Baldwin blew away his DP or something like that. It was a horrible scenario. But anyway, the point is that now everybody's running around saying is liable. So what
That is not, that I have to stop you there, because that is such a rabbit hole, and that is a whole meeting in itself.
well, all I mean is about the insurance.
Right.
And such and so. Is that part of this whole?
Yeah, watch right there. See, insurance?
Okay.
Two insurances, the liability issue. Now, I know a lot of people don't do it on low budget things, and I kind of understand that, but I will tell you this, that if we needed to use, if we're gonna do the train station, and we really wanted to use the train station, and there's a really cool spot at the train station, right? We'd have to have $1 million liability. Okay, so you have to pay for insurance. Okay, Hub Insurance is international. Carol Besicloni is the vice president of that. She's a member of WIFT. Okay, she's in North Carolina now. But anyway, she gets a good deal for you.
Every one of our branches films, she has insured.
Yeah.
Everyone.
And there's an admissions that runs about $300 roughly. For I've never done a short, so I can't tell you how much it costs.
Or a budget.
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 Right.
Yeah, that all
God
goes.
forbid there's an accident.
So there's no liability insurance for development.
You don't need it.
Okay.
Yeah, like we're sitting here, we're developing right now. I go home, I develop.
The only injury is our paper.
My paper cut, and my computer broke on this side right here, and it's like.
Cramp in his foot. Yeah.
So, all right.
I'm sorry, I just
No.
don't know anything, and it's
That's
really
why we
helpful.
do this,
Yes,
my love.
right.
That's why we're.
And that's why I like addressing people's questions at their different levels. So that, I like that better than just going over everything. So I hear the handouts, you guys can read, I don't have to read to you. Okay, if you have a question, come back to me. But while I'm here, the questions that you might have that I can answer are valuable, I think, more valuable than, me just going on about like Section 181 I thought was really important. Okay, and that's how I do the budget. And so I'm doing a local budget. If I was to put this together and I had money, the next thing that I would do is I would talk to people about, like, I will tell you this, and I'm not saying this to blow smoke, but I didn't know Graham until he started to show up here, but I knew about him. Okay, that name I've heard. In my world, I don't know if I could ever use him at, because the people I get are from out of state, but I knew about him. So, okay, so that's the way that I would do my next thing. But before I do the next thing, before I even talk to him, I want to go to him with all the knowledge that I have for this, so I don't sound like a wannabe half-ass. Hey man, we can shoot this in your backyard, dude. I got a cell phone camera, My grandmother would, like my grandmother will make lasagna for lunch, It'd be excellent. She makes excellent.
We did it in my backyard.
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
that's right. Okay, but you take and you find.
We're insured.
No.
When you take and you find the budget, that's how I plug in all these other players that are here. But I do know the legal fee, right? I do know the union fee for SAG. One of the things important, I want to go over again with SAG with you guys. When you do an independent film,
Screen Actors Guild.
Florida's a right to work state. Great, sounds good. You bring a SAG actor in, it's a union movie, believe it or not. Okay, so talk to SAG nice. Don't get mad. You don't have to pay benefits. You don't have to pay vacation. You don't have to pay medical. You don't do that, but you've got to pay the rate. Okay, of the individual, and
No,
then
hold on, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the whole film's union, just actors.
right,
Just actors
Right.
in background.
unless somebody raises a finger and says, "Wait a minute," because all those unions are all Teamsters. They have different names,
That's different.
but they're all the same guy. Okay,
Well, you still have to do a payroll through a payroll company,
Right.
and they still have to get insurance.
Right.
Through.
And all that, right.
Yes, that has to be
but you don't have to pay all that extra stuff on, see, in Florida. Or if we're in New Jersey, that's the only way you can really work. Because they'll shut you down. I mean, literally, you'll have garbage trucks sitting there on your set, beeping their horn, and the police won't do anything. And it's like, I've experienced that in Atlantic City.
Wait, so let me just get this straight. So if I use SAG actors
Mhm.
for my leads, I have to SAG for all of my background.
No,
No, but you can, wait, if you're ultra low budget, you
Right,
can
there's the
negotiate.
micro budget.
Yeah,
100%.
negotiate.
Okay.
Like this budget right here, I did negotiations already, all right? She told me, I said to her, hey, boss, you're gonna use a SAG actor for anything? I would. It's A-list talent.
Yeah.
And you know what? You don't ever think for a second that you can't get somebody. If you have all your stuff together and somebody said, Art, take a look at this. And I go, you know what? There's no errors in the script. They did this, they did this, they did this. Hey, you want to go to Orlando and shoot for like a week? Hey man, I like to go to Disney as that Harry Potter ride. That Harry Potter ride sounds pretty cool. I haven't been there. Somebody's gonna pay the airfare or whatever it's gonna be, and you get famous people to be in different things. So the SAG rate for this last night, based on what I gave them, was $211. So all I had to do was go $211 all the way down my list to all my players, right? That talk, right? And then the number of days, and it comes up to $4,000. So it cost me what, $4,250 for a full cast. That meets SAG rule.
It's not bad.
And that is 1 day of shooting?
No, it's some or two.
Yeah, I just did one, I didn't have to, the SAG actors, yes, the people that weren't SAG, I
Right.
didn't have to do the day.
Well, you don't have to, but here's the deal. No, here's the deal. When I always try to play with people nice because you never know when you need a favor. Okay, I'm not right now. I'm not looking at see how cheap it's going to be. I'm looking at what it would cost, and so everybody's happy. Okay, then we can always reduce it. The problem is, this is what I get. Well, I didn't. SAG's on our phone right now because you didn't bother to pay them what they're supposed to get. Where do I get that money from? Right? I don't want that. I don't want to put anybody in that jeopardy. I want to make sure that I can always find the money down the road. So we know that when we go into it, we're happy. Okay. Because here's the other thing that happens. And again, he'll say to me, Art, if we had this, it would really make it better. So I go, how much is this? And you go, it's only $300. And I go, okay, can we use this anywhere else? And you go, maybe. Well, think about it. Okay, so my job is to go back and negotiate to the people with the money to get you this, to get you the support that you need.
But it would help because you could move an actor around. You could say, hey, I have the budget for a SAG actor. You don't need a SAG actor.
Got it. Absolutely. So I could take from Peter to pay Paul.
But that is also, I must point out, is
Correct. You can also.
No, that's approved. That's approved SAG. That's an approved fee.
you're not gonna get Willem Dafoe for.
Yes, you can. You can because it's SAG approved. I had James Brolin. Okay, James Brolin supposed to do 3 days in the Bahamas. Okay, on one of our films. He spent 3 months in the Bahamas. And we didn't pay him any more money and everything was fine because everybody wants to play nice together, plays nice together.
But you are getting the hotel room. I want to push this
Go ahead.
along. Let's move into props, rentals,
Oh,
gear.
okay.
Let's move on down the line for, I just don't want to run out of time.
Well, I don't know. How do you want to cover props? I mean, we get a breakdown sheet of all the props.
Like
Right.
lodging could be an incentive.
The only
No.
incentive we have is no sales tax. If you have a production company.
Yeah.
Here, there's a no sales tax on production, most rentals.
Yeah, most rentals, but not hotels. Because
Well,
that's how,
What I'm trying to say is that in the budget, for example,
Right.
supposing I was trying
Move
to
into
get
tangibles. Can we get
James
into
Brolin-
tangibles?
yeah,
If I was trying to get James Brolin for my 211, what I would do is I would get him a great hotel room or something to get into town.
Right, but
And that would go into the budget.
correct. So
Yes.
if you don't have, what's the word I'm looking for? Contingency,
Right.
you're screwed.
right. And that's another thing on the bottom of the budget. And this budget here, I have a 10% contingency added.
So I will.
Always.
Always.
I will
Yeah.
give it
It's
a
like
budget
all-
line.
I always put that in there.
Lodging,
I don't know what you want me to cover with the props.
Wouldn't even.
Just give me a hint.
Rentals, things, they don't know what they don't know. So we're talking about a budget. We've
Right.
spent like 40 minutes on SAG.
Right.
Yes, actors are.
So,
important.
okay, so, all right, so if you,
Locations,
Yeah.
props, costumes.
right,
makeup.
well, what I try to do is, okay, with the props, I try to find, now, you try to bring somebody in that's gonna be your prop master. A lot of people here double up that job, okay? So if you know somebody that's a good scrounger, that's who you want on your low budget to do a props thing. Then there's a props budget that's built in for the things that you need. This, you read the script. What props do we need in this script?
Not a lot.
Oh,
Obviously.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
What do we need?
Guys, what is all over the walls and it
Yeah,
all-
Photographs.
Right. Wait, hold on. I hear, wait, from afar, I hear a word,
Photographs.
the photographs.
Thank
So,
you, Sarah.
right. So in that, I have that listed on my props list of all those different photographs that now we've got to get somebody, we need a photographer. So now the photographer's added to my crew list, which is on my crew list, right? To be able to shoot those period things, which means that if we're going to use her to play both parts, so she's going to play the 20-year-old and then the 50-year-old, I got to bring in the makeup person. Okay. Or do I shoot that scene first before she does the hallway scene?
That's when we get a schedule.
Okay, and that's where we sit now with the scheduling guys and go, can we shoot that first? So now we got to pull her away. Why? Because we got to shoot that scene with the kid with the khaki uniform, but the kid isn't in there for that day. So we got to make sure that maybe we can make him come in and shoot at the same time.
So now you're paying another day on that actor.
Right.
That wasn't supposed to
So,
be
so we have to lay out and look at the value of all
Raw
that.
photos
And-
are one of
right.
those expensive things that
Right.
people don't get.
Right.
Duffel bags at the railroad station.
Yeah, the duffel bags. Right.
You got the kid on
The
bicycle.
dog.
The dog. The dog.
Put the dog.
The dog
Put
is
the dog there.
the dog is the hardest thing
Yeah, the dog.
to find. The dog is the hardest thing to find.
Yeah.
The second hardest thing to find is the what?
Well, the photographs or the.
Nope, not the photographs. We got the players.
The locations.
Nope,
Oh,
the car.
Or-
The car, because she has, thank you, she has, she has in a classic car. But you notice she didn't define a classic car. So to me, when I was looking at classic cars, I was looking, they had a Rolls Royce, they had Mercedes, the old Mercedes. I picked that out because it was like period. You could have had a Mustang, the 64 Mustang. I didn't know what classic car, so I just grabbed that one as an example.
64 GTO is not a bad. choice.
No, I know. I said this little
Well, we got a
GTO.
guy for that.
Right. So now now she says, I would love to have that in here. He's a director. He's not a commander. Okay. So he says,
She.
Graham, I have Graham, I'm putting Graham. Graham says, I want that GTO. Now we have to pull all our resources together. And the props person now has to find out who's got a GTO that we can rent or borrow, or when they're not watching, steal it. Okay. But to get that GTO to be there on set. And now this is where a good props person is going to go. I can't get the GTO, but I got a 1954 Thunderbird convertible.
You also have to make sure that the car was built before.
Right, the period that's there.
See, good point. That's why you hire a real transfer person, a real prop person.
Right.
They know those things.
See, so you see the element, the layers
Yeah.
that get involved in this thing, right? Now you do this, I mean, you do this for like,
Feature.
well, like when I worked on Angel Heart, okay? I had to do all that. And I worked on anger management. I had to do all that for Yankee Stadium.
Oh my God.
Okay, and then we had the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, the full teams were there overnight. Okay, and you had to take care of them, and you had to take care of like all their families and all that. See, it's all now there. Where do they park? What gate do they go in? The secret gate, so nobody knows what gate they're going in to pull underneath. Oh,
What was your title role? Like you say budgeting, but what is, like when you're
What
doing
I do,
a lot of that,
like-
because
Production manager.
production
What's your
manager.
business card say?
It doesn't say anything because I don't have business
I'm
cards.
just saying, if you
He's
plan
under
a
the
business
radar
card.
I just get, people call me up and go, Art, I need that script broken down. Art, I need this done. Art, I need this done. And I go, okay. And then we negotiate and stuff. I don't like going on location unless there's palm trees in the sand. Because I got screwed in,
And your boat.
yeah, in the boat. Because I got screwed in working on taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, the remake, because they put me in the Plaza Hotel. Sorry. They put me in the Plaza Hotel because there's palm trees in the lobby. But I beat them because I got tickets to see Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks's Young Frankenstein. That was a limited run. So those tickets were like $1,000 each. And I got 2 tickets to see that. So I thought that was worth to be cold again. See, this is my operational uniform right here. This is it right here. I don't own socks. Okay. And very rarely do I wear underwear. When I do, it's on my head. That's a line from Stripes, by the way, which I worked on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just figuring the way you say tall. You're New York,
New Jersey.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So I.
I'm a Jersey kid. I'm a Jersey guy. Come on, questions?
So what stage, because, being DP, certified or stuff like that, at what point would I come to you and be like, hey, how do we get a jib in the budget?
Anytime that, once we're sitting down in a production meeting, Because in the production meeting, you're gonna sit back. and
But
you're-
that's after the development?
Yeah,
budget?
that's after the development phase.
Okay.
That's where you're funded.
Gotcha.
Okay, we have to do that part when we're funded. All right, now, if I usually try to bring on, in that development phase, I bring the director on. So you're paid. So the part of your salary is paid up front. Okay, so you have that money. So now what you're doing is you're going, Art, this is what I like to have for a first AD. I know these guys that can do this. And so we're negotiating. So I can go back and change any of these figures as long as I'm with my ballpark figure. Okay, and you can say, I've saved money here. Can I get the camera chip? Okay, so you like the car seat. She doesn't have the car seat really drive anywhere except for in the driveway. Okay, so let's say we change that and you go, you know what? It's really cool if we see her instead of, it's hard to have her sit on the bench in the train station. But if she was sitting in her car, can we do that? Okay, can't use a drone because we're not allowed to say, right? But can we use the camera?
You can't?
No, I'm just using that.
Oh.
There are places you can't. In St. Pete, I'm telling you right now.
Oh,
If you're ever by my marina, you can't, that drone, the Coast Guard controls and takes it right away. You'll never see it again. Okay? Yeah, so that's how that's played into it. That's when we get the funding.
I'll talk to you later about that.
So
I'm FAA licensed, that's why.
yeah, no, you would have to get it approved, and if they approve it, then it would say it, but usually they deny it because of all the security that's around the St. Pete Marina.
Got it.
Yes, yes, boss.
What is the, what is the low, middle, high budget structure come in? Is that just sort of get billed as you go, or?
There is no, I see you're back again to the feasibility study of what you think your target audience is, and that's where the marketing comes into play, right? That's right here. What's your target audience? Now, I'm going to go back again. The first thing that pops into my head when we talked about that, like the producer side of me is going, we got to get a hold of dog lovers. We got to get a hold of famous dog lovers. Okay, James Brolin is married to Barbara Streisand. She has 3 really cool dogs. I think she has 7, but 3 really cool ones that are like little French poodle ones. She might be somebody that would be willing to look at the script. We can get it to Jim, and Jim goes, "Hey, this is a neat dog movie about this mongrel that looks like a bit." You never know. Oh, they're helping dogs, you're saving dogs, but see that's where you want to go with it. Okay, and that changes the whole thing. That if that was to happen, people would be saying to you, "Why are we doing a short? Can we expand this?" And you go, "Yeah, because now there'll be money to pay you to start writing." Okay, see, so that's how that moves. You never know when you're moving forward what direction you're going to go in. And when you read those handouts that I gave you, it talks about what you can say to people. Don't, because somebody says no, don't give up. They said no because it's not what they do. It's like when you asked me, you said to me, "What did you think of the script?" What did I tell you? I don't read your script to think it's good or bad or indifferent. I don't care, but that's not what I'm doing for this. What I'm doing for you is to see if we can make it work. Okay, that's my job. Now later on, when we're in a production meeting and you ask me something, I'll go, "I thought that part sucked," but I still budgeted for it. I don't go, "I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it." Okay. See, this isn't like the college class where we all go. No, this is a business. My job is to follow what the bosses said and support the crew. Yes, sir. That's where I'm at a void. Okay, because this isn't my world. Okay, my world is, I know film festivals do stuff. I'm not real happy always about film festivals, which is another story. Okay, because you're like to make money for people that tell you they're good, and the more people that show up, that's a friend or a winner or something in a lot of cases. But I don't know. I don't know if like stories. I could tell you how we use P&A on feature films to get to, like, when you want your movie, we do the movie. It's really good. We want Sundance. I have a P&A budget. I call Sundance up. I rent a screening room. They give it to me. I throw a party for the press. And at that time, we announce that at Sundance, that movie was purchased.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Because I do know the short world.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of the things I would ask too, that would probably be good to ask with regards to this is, what is the goal of the short film? If it's just to go into festivals and win awards and accolades, you might even be able to put into the budget for those festivals that you want to put it in.
Correct.
But if the goal is, well, it's really a pitch to try to get into a feature, you could even probably budget taking it to AFM, which is American Film Market,
Yes.
to try to sell it.
Right.
Now, I'm sorry, I've got to cut in because the whole thing that I wanted everyone to see, can you get to your line item budget, please? You created it, you sent it to me, I know it's in the Excel.
I know, but I said that we weren't, I have to
No,
get permission for her to
that's-
show it. That one you showed about?
That's why we're here, is to budget for film.
Oh, okay. Well, I asked her and that's the
Are you
boss.
comfortable with that?
Yeah, you're,
This- Everyone needs.
here you go.
Do we all get to put in the guess what we think it's?
Now, this is why I wanted you all here.
Here.
This is a line item budget. These are called lines with items. It's a budget. This is formulated. It's, laugh it up. People don't know,
No,
okay?
Just the way you said it.
That's what a line producer does.
It's a line, it's a
Exactly.
budget.
So,
The line.
it's also in Excel, if you're familiar with Excel, you can formulate things. So as he has Mary Nell, how many days? 3 at 211 comes to 750. Do we have a running total at the bottom?
I just, yeah, should.
There, okay. Cast total. So when you create a budget, this is every prop, every rental, every additional crew person, everything. This is called a line item budget.
Now you see where I put in here, assumes where you're doing it yourself. Now remember, if you want this template, I have it. Just have to email me and ask me for it, I'll send it to you. Okay, you see it, assuming you're doing it yourself, that's the two things where usually people are doing low budget films or shorts, they'll pay for it, okay? And then you see down here where it says cheaper if you can borrow it, right? Depends on who you know.
That's one of the things I do for that is I will include my day rate to include all my equipment.
Yeah,
So
right,
it
your kit.
avoids the having to
Right.
look for
By,
rentals.
by the way, that's, the term is called a kit.
Yep.
So if I hire a makeup person, I hire the makeup person and I hire their kit. Okay, that's the term we use, kit. But when I was putting it together, I go, I think this is all I need. I don't need, and the crew members, I don't really need anybody else. That's there. Okay,
There's a whole department dedicated to you, obviously. Says art department.
that's true. That's true.
See you Thursday.
That's true. And listen, I have, see, look here, what I try to do is when I do this, I always try to give an assistant for makeup or whatever, if we can get a lower, or we get a PA, or we get somebody who wants to learn, okay? Because that's always helpful. And then don't forget your sound crew. See, it says sound mixer, okay? And that's all. We divide this into two sections, by the way. One's called above line and the other one's called below line.
Well, can I tell you one
Yeah.
thing real quick in my experience?
Mhm.
You better raise that sound mixer rate.
Oh, no, you know why? Because I talked to Rick Alexander.
Oh, okay.
See that,
Yeah,
see,
he's a-
see that, he's a whip, he's on the whip board and he's a good guy. See, so this is where I'm going back to do the Jersey thing again. They gotta do the negotiations.
You have a post on there? Upstairs.
Yep.
And you're editing color.
Right.
Color correction.
Yeah, color correction stuff. I just guessed it basically that, and I know we needed music licensing. She has music that's there, but I own music. I own like 400,000 different licenses for stuff. So I might have a music that fits in your period. So I left that alone because you can just borrow it. Is all this in? Oh yeah. Oh man, when you're doing a video game is nothing more than an animated movie with a lot of other things added to the back of it. That's why EA, which is in Maitland, is it Maitland, right? Is like $1 billion company. If you ever get a chance, if you ever get a chance, sometimes they'll give you a tour and you go inside. They got, I mean, it's like your studio on steroids. I mean, it's got sound stages all over the place for all the, like, in all the visual design rooms. Okay. See in here, and see, I have festival submissions, see, down here?
Yep.
Right, and a website, and I don't know really about a website or how much that would cost, I think,
You know.
easy one like
It
that.
does one off of WordPress.
You know, so I was there, and then down here, if you notice, I have investment income, okay? There, like this, one thing I will not do, just to let you guys know, crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is, yeah, it's a gray area with the IRS. I will tell you this, if you crowdfund and you ask me to sell it, nobody's gonna buy it that I know, okay? Because it comes contaminated, because all those people said, I never got a hat. You promised me I would be in it.
say, because that's how our series I got on Netflix was initial, the first
Yeah.
season was crowdfunded.
Yeah.
But yes, we made sure everyone got their stuff.
Yeah, and I know of 83 cases that people got in trouble for crowdfunding that I know
Now,
personally.
we need to wrap this up. How about questions? I mean, we seriously, guys, only scratched the surface.
Oh, I know.
Mhm. But I can't, we have volunteers here waiting for us. I never want to take advantage of them. So questions, specific questions, even if your own project, you have a question.
Do we have
He's
do we
here.
have a final budget on this?
No,
No, not yet.
no, we
It's
don't.
still-
We don't, because
it's
it's still gray areas with,
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Kind of like a rough
Sarah has a question.
formula, like a script is a page a minute.
Hold on 1 second.
no, I don't. I
No,
can't.
because like I said, it's 12 pages. As I'm reading it, I'm like, it's clicking in my head, and I'm like, Photoshop, pictures, frames, far I can get
But
very easily.
also.
Yeah.
People's time.
No, what I'm saying, but it's, as I'm going through it, I'm like, for a short, this is not gonna be.
I have a quick question about.
Wait,
Hold
Sarah.
on 1 second, Sarah.
Yeah, I guess I'm just asking, what are the options for funding for short film? Because if you're not crowdfunding, I guess you're going with friends and family or, you know.
Friends and family
You're
and
not
the-
gonna offer anyone a return on their investment. So what's
There's
the best
distributed
route?
choice.
Yeah, but they don't give you money up front. They do? I don't know anything about that.
Predatory.
So,
They'll
I mean,
own
do you
60%
recommend
of the film.
self-funding?
yeah,
Or should I get my money from
self-funding works if you
somewhere
have the money. If you have a husband that you can get the insurance from, that works.
I'm looking for one.
Only kidding on that one. What's your storyline? Do you have a storyline? What's your log line or your synopsis? real
I don't
quick?
have a log line yet.
Oh, okay. Well, here's what might suggest. If you're going to write on something or get a script, do this. Pick a topic that somebody that would like, that would like to hear about, like the movie The Dog, where the veterans, pick a story that goes to, somebody's heart. Okay.
Yeah, so mine is a homeless character, for
Great,
example.
a homeless character, super. So now you can, if you do your story, and if you talk to like the Salvation Army or a homeless center or people that donate to the homeless, you tell them, you pitch that idea to them, and then they might say, how much will it cost to make that? Now that's a good start. And you go, I don't really know, but I can find out.
Okay.
And then get back to us.
Get your schedule, get your budget.
I should do the budget first, obviously.
Yeah, you put all that together.
See, I disagree. Get your
No,
schedule first.
get your schedule first, because you can't do a budget without a schedule. This is the
Okay.
foundation. I've worked this out for you, that if you can't do anything without one block, if you do, it's gonna be wrong down the road.
I would also probably say yes to a schedule first, because I can tell you right now, I book up all the time. What happens if you don't have crew because you didn't have the schedule first?
Right. Absolutely. I was trying to find a real budget for
I
you.
book where the
But
money
see,
lands first.
The reason why my feature is $3,500 is because I will let you know every single day that special interest things are working, special gear is used. If it's a night exterior and I can already tell it's gonna be white, so we're seeing a kid running through it. I'm gonna put that crane in there. I'm gonna put the condor in there. I'm gonna put the, it will all be in your budget. So once you have a proper breakdown.
Yeah.
And I'll send you PDFs and the schedule, whatever, it's yours. You buy it, you own it.
This is,
You go to
but
him and he goes, okay, well, that condor every night is $1,800 plus the light to light. That's added to your grip electric, plus the man that has to sit up there all night to operate your laptop. Blah, 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 blah. That's why schedule's important when someone that knows how to do it for real. Getting it to someone who does money, because all of his answers, all of his things, that's why I kept jumping in, are from a money perspective. Mine's from an AD,
Right.
get it done, scheduling perspective.
and we work as a team, so we're moving.
Exactly.
It's bounding and traveling Overwatch. Move forward. This, by the way, is a real budget. This is a real budget that I did. And you can see right here alone, like, where all those little things are added up that go into play.
Well, yeah, it just was confusing because you said you couldn't sell, if you were crowdfunding. Is that just because of legal issues? Like, could you get donations, like say you, funded?
Okay, first of all, I want to give you a thing. No one can donate to an individual in the United States. It's a gift. And a gift is income taxable.
Okay.
Okay? That's where people make their mistakes. You can donate to Women in Film. We're a 501c3 approved. Now, Women in Film cannot make a movie because our statement, we can't funnel a movie through us, okay, which people do. I don't, okay, because it doesn't meet our mission statement. So if somebody was to complain to the IRS, okay, we would have to justify where in our charter that we were given, we can make a movie. It's not in
That's
there.
why all of ours have been through my production company, so I pay for everything, I handle everything, even though for me, it's a learning experience for any one of my members. Brandy's been on every one of them from the get-go. Luke has been on a couple. It has to be, they cannot put them, that's a liability for a 501c3. They can't be.
And I'm quiet when she does it the right way, and I'm quiet. If she did it the wrong way, I would not be quiet.
Oh, dude.
Okay? Look here, see this?
You could hear my eye roll.
Yeah.
To back on that though, I actually heard an interesting thing from somebody that went to NAB this year. He said that one of the big things that people are doing now is not crowdfunding before the film, they're crowdfunding after. Meaning they already have a finished product, they're putting it out there and saying, we're doing free ticket sales.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
And the other thing to do too is if you have your short.
I haven't seen it.
Yes. Now here's the other thing too. If you have your short, okay, and you want to get your short to sound like it's really popular and people like it, go rent a theater. Go rent a theater.
Yeah.
Okay. One person can show up, but technically you sold out. That's, I'm telling you, that's what we do at Sundance. That's what that money is for in PNA marketing.
So, as we always do, for those of you that come more than once, we head over next door. Chef Scott will always take care of us. I will clean up. Thank you guys for quietly trying to put chairs away.
Is there anything else before we leave?
Yeah, hit him, hit him.
Is there anything else? I'll be talking.
Yeah, hey, listen, was this good? I mean, did you guys learn something?
I thought it was awesome. Like, I'm trying to get back into the loop. in a long
You
time.
could have done a conversation on like each one of those blocks.
I that was the hardest thing. I'm going, I don't know how, I can't do a budget. I said, but what I want to do is show you how you get money in the pitfalls. Okay, and then this stuff is easy. I can help you with this, but you need to find the money. That's the area.
If you do ever have questions with shorts, I'm not an expert, I'm not gonna pretend to be, but I mean, literally, as far as what I do, my work in a year, 70% of the work that I do is short film.
It's all that short stuff. No, I understand it. I'm not saying the people not doing it.
No, I'm just saying.
What
if
I
you ever
want to
need
do,
help, let me know.
here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to see one of the shorts that you work on so I can get funding to make it into a movie.
Yes.
That's the key. That's the game. Because if we do that and it makes money, see, every movie I've ever worked on makes money. Every movie.
Yeah.
So I'm not, when I talk to people, I just got to get them to have the confidence that the crew I'm working with can make the money alongside.
See, and I'm with you because I know how important it is, but I'm always hands tied because I'm only the DP.
Yeah.
Only the.
Well, yeah, I don't get a final say on any of the production. I mean, it kills me when I shoot a film and then I don't even complete
No,
it.
I'm telling you, this.
I mean, I
Leave it
spent
alone.
what, how many
You have to be
days
an actor.
I
busting
need to
my
find
butt?
out if the guy can take
Send
his
out 100
1031 money
headshots every
and
month,
put it
paying for
into
stamps,
Okay.
everything else.
181
You shoot
movie,
this
but
thing, you give it
we
your
would like
all,
you to send me the
and then the
information.
kid's
I'm gonna
like,
do that when I get
"Oh,
home
just
tonight.
wanted
Okay,
to
I'll send
direct
it to
that
you.
one,
I'm
but
gonna
now
talk
I want to be a
tomorrow.
hairdresser.
Okay.
I've
And
been
like,
working fairly
I-
close.
I
gave
also
you
looked at
every-
your.
This
your
is why actors
membership.
should
There was no
also really
problem.
realize to not befriend the director,
check-
befriend the
Okay.
DP, because who do you think has the
Hey,
footage?
Yes, dear.
Well, and
could I get your handouts by any chance? Could you give me your email and I'll email you for them?
you could
Wait,
bypass
hold on.
that person, come to me and I'll give you the raw footage.
Say again.
Not always, Fran.
Not
But I would
always,
just
not
love to
always.
get a copy of the handouts.
Yes,
Can I
I'll,
email you?
email me.
Like that.
Can you email? ARTW
Okay,
SMITHJR
okay,
I met this guy many times.
at earthlink.net.
okay.
Yeah, email me and then when I get home tonight, I'll,
Yeah, no rush, no rush. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. There's that one, the important points of that one. This was the script if you want it. I don't really want that. And right here, hold on. Well-conceived business plan. Important points when creating a short film budget.
Bringing the munchkin next door, munchkins next door.
Feasibility study budget, that's the feasibility one we talked about. This is a cool little story right here. Never a penny.
Yeah, I've met him. I'll tell you some of the business plans I've seen, I think, over the years. And
You get one of those?
Nothing to do with movies, just business.
Yeah,
plans.
just business plans.
Yeah, because I was in mortgages and finance.
Yeah, find ways to
20-some
barter.
years. We had a guy who was down here in Sanford who was buying.
You can have that if you want to read it, take it home. It's Hollywood Reporter, it's a trade magazine. I get it every week or day, or I don't know, it comes all the time.
He was buying helicopters, you know, the MASH style helicopters.
Yeah, the
Not the Bell 47, the one with the radio
yeah,
engine, the front, the
big one.
clamshells.
Yep.
Anyway, and putting fiberglass fairings on them and selling them to the army at Fort Rucker to use in war games. Supposed to look like a Russian gunship.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy who was doing it got into a fight with the general. The general says, "Get yourself and your junk off my base."
Hey, Art has t-shirts. Everyone left.
Anyway, so the plan was the son was going to do the deal.
Right.
Here's the package. It's this thick.
Wait, hold on. Are you still with us?
I'm here. I was just waiting to say goodbye and thank you.
Okay. Goodbye and thanks for joining us.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I'll be out at St. Pete tomorrow.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, my boats are over at the Harbridge Marina.
Oh, that's great. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thanks again.
All right. Let me know if you need anything.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
With cameras in here.